And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Exit the Game, The Deserted Lighthouse. Now, exit games are escape room games, escape room in a box, but this is a new genre. This is one of two games that they released. This is the more difficult one of the two, but these include jigsaw puzzles. So it's a jigsaw puzzle, but it's also an escape room style game. You know, putting the two together. So if you've never seen one of these before, let me show you a bit about how it works. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything for you. Here we go. So the game's going to come with 4 puzzles. When I got them, they were all in separate bags. I finished it, so they're together. Each one has a distinctive back to it. To start the game, you read the opening story in the rule book, and you're just going to assemble this puzzle here, the one with the clear back. And at various points in the game, it will tell you to put the other puzzles together. Once you make this, you're going to have a picture. And then you're going to need to solve locks that might be on that picture. You're going to do so with this device here. So you'll look at, let's say I have a blue lock and I'm trying to open it. So I'll say the code, and you have to figure out some way to get a code. So maybe it's 081 is the code for the blue lock. And then I look at it, and I look in these 3 open doors. It shows a star, a Y, and a square. I then will look through a bunch of books that come, and I'm looking for that particular combination, which isn't here because that's not the correct thing, I guess. I just made some numbers. But once you do find it, you can open it and you can see things that are inside there, which will give you more clues and more things to find out, more puzzles. Sometimes you'll have to fold up paper, cut paper. There's physical destruction in the game. And sometimes it will say, now build the puzzle with the black stripes on the back. So then you build that puzzle, and you keep going until you get to one of these books that will tell you, congratulations, you finished it. If you have problems, this is the rule book of the game. It tells you all the different rules, how to put the things together, and so on. But they also have basically a clue/solution guides. So what will happen is it tells you how to use it. I'm not going to show you the help guides, but there's different puzzles here. And when you need to go to it, it will give you 1, 2 clues, and then you'll flip the page over to the back, and it gives you the solution. It's not as clean as the cards, but sometimes these require more explanation, as the cards did from the original Exit games. But that's basically it. This is a one-time game here. I guess you could build the puzzles over again if you wanted to. Not much to say about the component quality, except the puzzles are good. There were a few times where I thought the things on them were very tiny, and I needed good glasses to be able to see them. But other than that, all the components worked really well. I'll talk a little bit more about that now. Okay, so I want to talk about several things here. First of all, we have the whole jigsaw aspect of this. So I played this with my wife. She loves jigsaw puzzles, and so she was very eager to do this. I like escape room games. I'm not a huge jigsaw puzzle fan. The puzzles are, I believe, they're about 80 pieces each. 80 pieces is not a difficult jigsaw puzzle, as enthusiasts will tell you. It is trickier when you have no picture to look at, though. You're just building it and guessing. You build the frame, put things in. I wouldn't say they were too complex, but we were able to put them together fairly quickly. My son came in and helped put a few pieces in while we were in the middle of doing it. But that was an enjoyable thing. And you know what? One of the things about escape room games is they're like working on your brain, and you're like, thinking about all the different puzzles. Building the jigsaw puzzle was kind of like a downtime, a bit of a lull in the mix of that. So I enjoyed that. Now, if you played the Exit games, they usually have a book with them which has a full spread picture of something. That's what these jigsaw puzzles are. They feel like they're 4 pages from the book, and there's different things on them. However, that's not all they are. I cannot spoil it, but there's physicality used in the puzzle, and in ways that I did not think I didn't even think of, until it happened, I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to do it. I think in this particular, I've not played the other one, but in this particular one, I want to say at least 3 distinct, maybe 4 distinct times, the fact that it was a jigsaw puzzle mattered. I can't tell you more without spoiling it, but I thought that was fascinating. It was not easy. Now, there were some puzzles I got like this. There were 2 puzzles, though. One puzzle had something to do with a color, which I thought was misleading, and that's why I did not get it, that puzzle. When I finally read the solution, I was like, I felt like the puzzle could have been better worded. I think we would have got it. And the final puzzle in here, after reading how to do the puzzle, most of the puzzles in here, for example, if I didn't get it and when I had to look at clues or the solution, that happened occasionally, but not often. We got a lot of them. But a couple times I read it, I was like, oh, well, obviously this is what you're supposed to do. You know, and now that I read it, it all fits together. The final puzzle, no. There is no way I would have ever gotten it. I would never have gotten the final puzzle. No way. Even now, I'm like the solution has already fled my memory to some degree, but it was wow. This was hard. They rank it 4 out of 5. I suspect Thames and Cosmos never actually has a 5 rated one. I think they only go up to 4. So I would suspect this was really difficult. If you're looking for a challenge, there's definitely a challenge here. It is a one-time use thing, although, like I said, if you want to rebuild the puzzles don't get destroyed. But there are other things in the game that you cut up, bend, puncture, whatever it is, to do things with. I like it. I think if you like the escape room games, the exit the game, the normal ones, I think you're going to like this one. Because it's basically the same as those, but it brings a puzzle into play in unique and interesting ways. This one was definitely very difficult, and I will say I was slightly deflated at the end when, I was looking at that final puzzle and I was like, how are we supposed to get that? But maybe you'll think otherwise. Maybe you'll think that puzzle was pretty easy. Either way, it's a new kind of a branching path of the exit games, and I'm glad. I felt like they were slightly getting stale. I felt like they explored all their design space. This opens up a whole lot more design space. We'll see where that leads us. So that's Exit the Game, The Deserted Lighthouse. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Dice Tower Judgment approved.